Why is it everything in Spira seems to revolve around people dying?
The spiral of death.
Huh?
Summoners challenge the bringer of death, sin, and die doing so. Guardians give their lives to protect their summoner. The Faith are the souls of the dead. Even the maesters of Yevon are unsent. Spira is full of death. Only sin is reborn, and then only to bring more death. It is a cycle of death, spiraling endlessly.
Why don't we change that? Hey guys, what's up? So, I just want to start the video off by saying that this is one of my favorite games ever. And I still remember watching my cousins play it and watching my brother play it, and when I got a little older I got to play it myself, and I just fell in love with the series as a whole. Up till now I've played all the main games except for 4 and 5, but I'll plan to get to those later. But coming back to 10, I wanted to do another playthrough before I decided to finally buy Final Fantasy 16. So I decided this time, why don't I give myself a challenge before I go into it. And it's something that I've never tried before in any run, and from what I've noticed, it's something that I don't think anybody's done. And I sat back and I asked myself the question, I wanted to know, can you beat Final Fantasy X without anyone dying? Now when I first thought about the challenge, I was thinking, yeah, I could do that. So that's why I decided to add restrictions to my run and see if it really was possible with all of my knowledge that I have for this game. I wanted to add some restrictions and see if I could still do it. So here they are. The first one, if anyone dies, I need a restart from my last save. I can't keep going after. Any Aeons dying also count as a death. If any of them go down for any reason, I need to go back to my last save. If I go down for any reason, if I'm on the way to a different area, if I'm in the middle of a boss fight, I need to go back to my last save. I can't stay in an area and farm experience points. I have to go through linearly without getting items off the side. I cannot use items from the items menu on myself during battle. But I can, however, use items from the use special skill. I feel like this is necessary because if not, Riku is just kind of... Imagine Auron or Tidus and just take away their swords. That's kind of how Riku is if you don't let her use the use ability. And not really a rule, but I'm gonna try to not just spam overdrives throughout the whole run. If it's absolutely necessary to get through a battle, then I'll do it, but instead, just to secure some overkills, I'll whittle down the boss until they're one hit, and then I'll bring on Aeon or something and secure that overkill. Alright, those are the rules. So let's talk about what is a death in this game exactly. If a character's health reaches 0, they're done. If a character is petrified and then shattered, they're done. If an Aeon is banished, done. The only exception that I saw was getting ejected, since your health technically doesn't hit 0. You just get taken out of the fight. So that's really the only thing. But there's a little special stipulation where if you get turned to stone underwater, then you get instantly ejected from the fight. You still see the shattering. You are dead. There's no way around it. So that's why I consider that a death, and something like getting petrified isn't, or something like eject technically isn't. But yeah, I just wanted to go through that first. One last thing, I'm gonna format this kind of like a boss rush style video with a few things in between, things in between of what I was doing in order to help myself keep an edge during the run, and I'll explain exactly along the way. But yeah, with that finally done, why don't we get into the video.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance.
Before even really starting, I'm here on the bridge with Tidus and Orin, and the monsters don't attack, so I use this as a way to get the warrior overdrive for both of them. This will come in handy later. I also thought that this was okay just because they don't technically give you any experience points. They don't attack you, you don't get any XP from them. It should be perfectly fine. And on top of that, the first two bosses, the Sin Spawn, it deals fractional damage to you from your total HP. So even if your HP was 1, you'll still be alive, you'll still be okay, so it's technically not a boss. The second fight was against the Geos Gano, and he isn't a fight either. He does fractional damage to you and then you run away. So there's nothing really to talk about with him. The third fight is against Click, this big spider with swords, and it's got like those little mantis thingies. And this is the first fight that you can actually be unalive in, if you're unlucky. The first couple turns are just really basic. Attack, he attacks, you attack, he attacks. And then Riku shows up, and she's there to help, and she's the only reason why we're able to get through this deathless. Using her special steal and use, she can chuck grenades, and they'll do about 1,000 damage to it. He's a pretty beefy tank for this point in the game, and that 1,000 damage, Tidus was one shot away from just going down, and I'm just really happy that he didn't attack Tidus, because that would have had to have been a restart. Really, the fight is kind of RNG, because, like I said, if he just solely attacks Tidus, that's the fight. You're gonna have to restart it. But thankfully he didn't. Now the next fight is against Tross, and now that we have access to Cheer, a lot of these fights are gonna go a lot smoother. Cheer increases attack and defense and can be stacked up to 5 times. So once it's stacked up all the way, even though we can't use items to heal ourselves in the fight, we're going to be taking less and less damage and dealing more and more damage. So yeah, just another quick, easy, simple fight. Now, after a bunch of story stuff on Besaid, since the first random encounter is actually a fixed encounter, I allowed myself to go back into Besaid and pick up a new overdrive for Valefor before heading out. And the fifth boss fight the next boss fight is going to be up against Kimahri, which nobody has a problem with. I don't think anyone has ever lost this fight, especially since all I did was just cheer 5 times and then attack him 2 times. I even hit him for a crit for 600 damage and got the overkill as well. All I needed was 2 attacks and it was over.
That's enough!
Once Kimahri was dealt with, we go up against Sin's Fin out on the boat. And technically there is an infinite experience points exploit that you can do here, but for the sake of the video and the challenge, I decided to go against it. Really just whittling down this Sin's Fin with Waka's Ball, Lancet, and Lulu's Magic. Once I whittled it down a good bit, I had Valefor come out and secure the overkill. The part after that, though, is something that I completely forgot about. I've been playing this game so many times all throughout the years, and I completely forgot about this fight. Tidus gets thrown off of the boat, and Waka has to go save him. So now, without a healer, I'm nervous about this fight. And then I remember that ×5 cheers kind of busted and just mow through all of the enemies.
The Ochu is no garden variety fiend. We could throw 100 crusaders at it and still lose.
Hey, you remember that rule that I said that I have to go from point A to point B? I have to go from the start of the area to the quickest way to the next area. So I have to go straight through. I have to fight Ochu here. And he's a pretty tough fight if we didn't have Baleful, because he does a big earthquake attack when he's at low HP. But with Fly, it's not a problem. Also here at the end of the fight, I'll show you I got a 10% drop rate for the HP spheres, which is huge. But I don't use them right now. But that's just something that I thought I would note. I got pretty lucky here. The fight after that was another Sin Spawn. Really just take out the arms, summon Baleful, get its health lower. Sonic Wings. The Sonic Wings ability on Baleful delays enemy attacks, so I was just able to stun lock him. And this is the point of the run where I decided to stop abusing Aeons and Overdrives for the challenge, since I thought things were going to be a bit too easy. After the fight, I went and I completed the Eject Shot Challenge. The game is going to have you go through a Blitzball tournament, and if you win, you get a really important item, especially for a run like this where every single strength additive counts. I need it.
The best? Yeah, right.
Our next team off the ramp is... Well, if it isn't the Besaid Aurochs. They're a living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad. That's right, in 23 years, they've never made it past the first round. Only a few die-hard fans are in the audience today.
Best of luck to them and a safe journey back to Besaid.
The tournament started, Yuna got kidnapped, so it's up to Tidus, Lulu, and Kamari to save her while Waka plays. The marker on the map is telling us to head left, but we're going to go right and pick up a very important item, the Magic Sphere. And with this, Lulu's going to be carrying the next section of the game. She was doing about 450 damage per spell to the Machina, but thanks to the sphere, she's going to be doing around 650, and now she can just one-shot any of the mechs that get in her way.
Let's go.
The next boss fight that's happening is on the Albed ship against the Obliterator. And we need to be careful. There's a crane on the side of the ship that we can use to take off a huge chunk of the mech's health, and we need to jumpstart it. But we can't attack the boss yet, and I did accidentally. And the reason for that is because he has a chance to counterattack physical attacks with Blind Pass or Blind Ball, which causes blindness, and magic attacks he hits you with Silence Ball. That's probably the worst case scenario, because if he does that, then we can't beat him. Us not being able to use items is a big hindrance here because we don't have Yuna. But once we activate the crane, take his health down to 1/16th, and then Lulu is just able to one-shot him. At this point, Lulu is basically a glass cannon, just because she has, what, 300 something health? Somebody looks at her and she's done. So we need to be careful with her.
He shoots! Goal!
Also, two things that I just wanted to point out before the next part. Waka wins the match, but he uses Auroch's Spirit right here. That's the strongest blitz ability in the game. And another thing that I didn't notice until just now, the goalie that the Albeds have isn't Nimruk. Nimruk is the best goalie in the game, and that guy ain't him.
But who could have imagined a championship game between these two teams? Our legendary Luca Goers going against the horrendously ill-fated Besaid Aurochs.
This looks like history in the making, Baba.
But we're finally back. We're going to start playing some blitzball. And, you know, I'm kind of the phenom when it comes to blitzball. And if you score 3 goals against the Goers before the 3-minute mark on the second half of the game, then Titus will do a little dance. And the time will skip straight to 3 minutes so that Walker can come out. But enough about that. We win the blitz game, we get the strength sphere, and then right after, more monsters start popping up into the arena. ×5 cheer, and Waka and Titus are able to just mow all the mobs down.
What's happening?
Sir Aura!
So, you do know him.
Yeah, best guardian there ever was.
The next fight with Garuda is easy since he can be blinded, and there really isn't a case that he can hit us at all. With Titus, Waka, and Orin, I wouldn't even consider this a boss fight.
Hey, you! Don't just stand there! All of this is your fault! Getting swallowed by sin, ending up here in Spira, not being able to go back to Xanark, and everything! I'm telling you, it's all your fault! Who are you anyway? You knew my old man, didn't you?
Yeah,
And you also knew Yuna's father?
that's correct.
Hey man, there's no way! That's just impossible!
Nothing impossible about it. Jekt, Braska, and I. Together we defeated Sin 10 years ago. Then I went to Xanarkand, where I watched over you. So that one day, I could bring you to Spira.
Why did it have to be me?
Jekt asked me to.
Is he alive?
It depends on what you mean by alive. He is no longer human. But then, I felt something of Jekt there in that shell, couldn't you? You must have felt him when you came in contact with Sin.
It can't be.
It is. Sin is Jekt.
In any case, I'll miss having him around.
He's still in town, isn't he? I think I'll go see him. Oh,
Whoa.
Sir Orin!
Yuna,
Sir,
I wish to become your guardian. Do you accept?
You're serious?
You refuse?
no. We accept, right everyone?
Of course. No problem at all.
But why?
I promised Braska.
You promised? My father? Thank you, Sir Orin. You're welcome to join us.
And he comes too.
Hi, guys. Howdy.
This one I promised Jekt.
Is Sir Jekt alive?
Can't say. Haven't seen him in 10 years.
I see.
You'll meet eventually.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
What's our itinerary? Where are we headed?
Hey, come with me.
Once we've finished listening to all of the story exposition and we're finally on the Mi'ihen High Road, since the first encounter on the Mi'ihen High Road is a fixed encounter, I decided to go back to Luca, pick up Wedge and Jamal, and play some Blitzball. That way I can unlock Waka's second overdrive attack reels. And I was going to continue playing Blitzball for the next while in order to unlock some dark matter, which would make a huge difference later, but ultimately I decided against it because I realized if I were to do that, I would go bankrupt before the season even ended. So I wasted about 7 hours of just playing Blitzball, not even being able to finish it. Oh, one little thing right here on the first area of the Mi'ihen High Road, off on the right side, there's a woman named Belgamine. You're supposed to talk to her and you're supposed to fight her, but due to the rules of this challenge, I can't go over there. I got to keep on going straight. So, bye. We'll see you later. At the halfway point of the Mi'ihen High Road, we fight against the Chocobo Eater, and I had to reset here. Not because I lost or anything, but because I was dealing too much damage and I killed him way too early. At this point, this would give us our very first level 1 key sphere if we throw him off of the cliff, but my people are dealing way too much damage. So I had to restart and steadily heal him while my people were chipping him away and pushing him back. But after the fight we can rent a chocobo for free from Rin, but I choose not to. I need all the experience points that I can get, and you don't get any random encounters when you're riding a chocobo, so I trek it on foot. Also, never seen this before.
This plan won't work, you know that. We'll just let them dream a little longer.
What?
Lord Keenock.
Oh yes, proceed.
That Keenock a maester?
I heard that, Orin. A lot has happened the last 10 years. What were you doing and where?
Fulfilling a promise I made to a friend. I still am.
Just tell me one thing. Have you seen Zanarkand?
I kinda think we don't belong here.
It is time at last.
The next battle is, again, another Sin spawn, and I left the game recording for about 40 minutes of me doing nothing, but just standing there. But it's not a fight. It's not a hard fight at all. Keeping everybody healthy and taking the arm and the head off immediately were really the only concerns. And giving Orin the Strength Sphere was my best bet, because I'm dealing upwards to about 1,000 damage per hit. That's pretty crazy at this point in the run. And immediately after that, we fight a second one with Seymour. And thanks to him having access to level 2 black magic, it's not a fight at all. Also, this is the very first time I ever used Seymour's overdrive. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. You just have to wait there and have him continuously get hit in order to build it up. At that point, you should have already killed the boss before his overdrive gauge is even full. So yeah, it was pretty cool to see that for the first time. More story, we pick up a third Aeon, and then we meet that woman back from the Mihen High Road, Belgamine. She's in the dead center of the road, so I'm able to talk to her this time. And she instigates a fight with us. And this fight's kind of difficult. Without overdrives, I'm not sure if you could beat her, but I did by just spamming overdrives with Ifrit.
Only as bad as their users.
It's because of people like the Al-Bed screwing everything up.
What could that be?
Sit down.
Sorry! Ah!
The Al-Bed!
In the middle of the Moonflow, there's another underwater fight just with Waka and Tidus against the Al-Bed, again trying to kidnap Yuna. And remember how I said that ×5 cheer is really good? Well, it still is. This fight is nothing.
Damn the Al Bhed! What do they want from us? Could it have something to do with Luca? What are they after Una for? Wait, they're mad they lost the tournament. Oh wait, they're mad about Operation Mihen.
I wonder. Didn't Kamari's clansmen say something about summoners disappearing?
So the Al Bhed are behind that. Those sand-blasted grease monkeys.
And hey, remember Riku? Well, she's back. And now we got a full team of 7.
You're not dead? Huh?
Thought I was done for back there.
Ah! Riku! You're Riku! Hey! You're okay! How you been?
Sir Orin, I would like Riku to be my guardian.
Show me your face.
Huh?
Look at me.
Oh, okay.
Open your eyes. As I thought.
No good?
Are you certain?
100%. Righto! Then I'll just have to be the merriest.
It was strange. Even though Waka had always hated the Al Bhed,
Riku, at your service.
he never realized Riku was one of them.
Sir, to Maester Seymour.
Lord Jiskel!
Oh, Lord Jiskel!
He does not belong here.
Why?
Yuna, send him.
Lord Jiskel.
He is Lord Jiskel no more. Send him now.
Talk later. We leave now.
What was that just now? That really Lord Jiskel?
I don't understand how a man like Lord Jiskel can die and not be sent.
I would think that he was sent once, but he stayed on Spira. Something, a powerful emotion, could have bound him to this world. Such things happen.
That's against the rules, isn't it?
It means he died an unclean death.
The next battle won't be for another few areas, but when we reach the Thunder Plains, I found a spot that generates a lot of thunder encounters that I can dodge right in the center of where I'm supposed to be going. And since the thunder doesn't stop for any reason and it keeps making me jump back, I can stay here and continuously jump them till I hit 200 jumps. I stayed here and dodged lightning for an hour straight without a no encounter item, and I'm still within the rules of the challenge. Dodging all the lightning, I did that for one good reason. Dodging 50 lightning bolts gives me 3 strength spheres. One made Orin into a monster earlier. 3 wouldn't be fair at all, so I don't use them, at least right now. I don't feel like it's necessary, so I just leave them in the bag. Even though I was sticking to the rules of the challenge, I did gain a few levels, so from here on out, I'm not waiting near the entrance of places for the first encounter of the area, and instead I'll be going straight through areas.
Allow me.
Gotta love when things work out the first time. I always get the Death Cat Sith when I go to Guados alone.
This place, it's just water, isn't it?
This is what spheres are made of. It absorbs and preserves people's memories.
The next boss is in Makalania Woods, and it's in the form of a gelatin sphere. It counterattacks with any attack thrown at it with physical and magical attacks, and can shift its type to a random element to throw what you're doing off. But since the spells that it casts is the element, all I need to do is just wait for it to attack me with a counterattack, and then use the opposite spell in return. Lulu absolutely dominated this fight. She only needed a handful of spells to just mow him down. The boss has, I believe, 10,000 health, and Lulu just needed to look at it and it died. Also, we got a Eject Sphere from it. And now Orin can use my favorite overdrive in the game, Shooting Star. Now it's time where things get a little hairy.
Riku! Tudeintan, Ahun Wikadrek! Bunal with magic, you'd you came at.
Oh no!
Translation?
He's gonna use an anti-magic field on us!
Katras!
At Makalania Lake, I suffered my first death of the run against the Albed anti-magic machine. The mana beam is just too powerful. So when I tried again, I knew I had to burst his health down fast. The combo of Lulu's casting magic with haste and summoning Ixion to use Thor's hammer did the trick. Also, something to note here. I got a 4-slot magical Mog drop from the machine, and when I was watching Burke, you know, Dan's 08, when I was watching his attack only run, I swear that he said it only drops 2 to 3 slot alchemy weapons for people, but I got a 4-slot for it for Lulu, and that's going to be our main weapon for her when she gains access to use. Alchemy doubles the potency of healing items, and later on we'll have access to them thanks to the use ability, and it's going to help out tremendously.
This is great. I can't believe I've been traveling with an Albed, a heathen.
Now it's time for the first big hurdle.
Lord Jiskel! A sphere in Lady Yuna's belongings. Why would the lady have such a thing?
This may well answer a few questions.
What I am about to tell you is the unclouded truth. I swear it on my honor as a Guado. Listen to me very carefully, for I shall tell you the truth about my son Seymour. His mind is closed even to me, a maester of Yevon. But I can feel flames of darkness burning in his heart. He is using Yevon, the Guado, and even the summoners. If he is not stopped, he will surely bring destruction and chaos to Spira. I will leave this world soon, killed by my own son. But I do not fault him, because I was not wise enough. He has suffered and become twisted. I could not protect him and his mother from the world and its cruelty. I will accept death as punishment for my deeds. But whoever is watching this, I implore you to stop Seymour. Stop my son.
Wonderful.
Will Yuna be alright?
Without us, no. We will protect Yuna from anyone. Even a maester.
This can't be happening.
We saw Jiskel's sphere.
You killed him.
What of it?
It's Seymour. And this isn't fair. The script right here that I have for this is really long. It's way longer than everything else before here. This is where the real challenge starts. At least that's how I feel. Like, I know our first death was to the anti-magic machine, but this is where the difficulty just spikes so hard due to the restrictions. This is a 3-part fight. First round is against Seymour and his Guado guards, who will heal him automatically when he gets hit, and Seymour casts strong black magic attacks. Usually the plan here is to summon Veilfor to sweep all of them, but it's too risky due to the second part. I tried many different times.
I will fight you too!
All right.
Maester Seymour!
So be it.
I tried a couple different strategies. One of them failed due to the fact that I completely forgot that one of the guards has Shremedy. He's got that good on him, and it confuses Tidus. And it confuses him enough to where he just one-shots Lulu. On another attempt, I kept on buffing up strength, luck. I tried to just buff up as much abilities as I possibly could before I got to the second part.
Feel my pain. Come, Anima!
And part 2 is a little tricky. Let me explain why. In part 2, you fight Anima, Seymour's signature Aeon. Anima has 18,000 health. On turn 1, it uses boost, which makes it take more damage than it should, and it fills up its overdrive gauge. Usually, the way that this fight's supposed to go is the second that he brings out Anima, you bring out your new Aeon Shiva, and Shiva outspeeds Anima the entire time. With this, you quickly get rid of him, he goes away, and then in part 3 of the fight, when Seymour comes back, he starts dual casting black magic, level 3 black magic spells, and it instantly takes out Shiva. I couldn't do what I did earlier. I can't summon Shiva because the second that the third part of the fight starts, I can't even summon her for the anima part, because if I did, and then I switch back to my party, because of Anima's special ability. Just like Valefor has his Sonic Wings, Ifrit has his Meteor Strike, Anima has Pain. Pain is a magic-based attack that deals damage and also causes instantaneous death to anyone it hits. It doesn't affect Aeons, and that's it. It doesn't affect Aeons because Aeons are immune to all status effects. We don't have anything that is death-proof. So because of this, we essentially only have one turn to whittle Anima's health all the way down. That's 18,000 health. So with a combination of buffs that I gave Tidus, Auron, and Waka, once Anima comes out, we start unleashing everything that we have on her, and I was able to pull off this combination, dealing 6,000 health and taking down Anima. And with the second part finally done, no deaths so far, and Seymour comes back, and now I'm able to use Yuna's Overdrive to grand summon our new Shiva so that she can use her Overdrive to take out Seymour. Such a huge hurdle finally taken down.
Please.
Give us a chance to explain.
No need. I already know what I'll tell the other maesters.
Meaning?
Lord Seymour was the leader of the Guado before becoming a maester.
You're not letting us go.
Let you go? Lord Seymour would never forgive us if we did.
Wait! Wait! Jiskel's sphere! We can show it to them!
You mean this?
Hey!
The Guado take care of Guado affairs.
Away! Run!
Once Seymour was dealt with, all the Guados start swarming us out of the gate, and due to what I did over in the Thunder Plains, I decided to just keep on going straight. I'm not going to farm them for any type of experience points. The next fight we have is where we fought the Albed mech, and it's against an ogre. Just a normal ass ogre. And it one-shots Tidus on the first turn. Wonderful. And the second attempt, he does the same thing. On the following attempt, however, I decided, you know what, instead of hasting right off the bat, with Tidus, I'm going to use delay attack on the ogre so that he can't attack yet. Now, thanks to Orin being able to protect all of us and us making sure that he's kept healthy the entire time, we take out the ogre first because he's the biggest threat on the field. With him gone, the other two just go down like it's nothing. The fight ends, we go down to a sinkhole, and then we end up in Bevel, or we end up in Beaconell Island thanks to Sin. I prepared ahead of time here for getting Lulu the Use skill and took Kamari down Yuna's path to learn Asuna and Cure, since right now she's MIA. And thanks to the medical mog I got earlier, Lulu will be our resident healer, thanks to the Albed potions that the enemies around here drop along the way to home.
There's something I want to tell you, but promise not to say anything.
And just one thing, I love this so much.
Pray! Now! That's how it's done.
Getting the home with the Guado attacks, I make sure to pick up the level 4 key sphere that's right over here, that's right in this room. This is going to be extremely important later. And I figured that I could grab it due to the fact that there are no enemy spawns in this room.
I'm telling you, she won't die!
Boy, don't forget those words. 'Cause if you do, I'm gonna make you regret it.
So you know where she is?
Course not! That's why we're gonna look! Using this airship!
Airship?
E-A-U-E Novo Meno Re Mili Yochu Yoko Asate Kanae Kutamae.
What's going on?
We're gonna blow up our home.
How?
With one of the forbidden machina. Hey, go! Ida!
Where was that?
The Palace of St. Bevel, heart of Yevon.
Gramps, let's move!
Easy, kiddo. Bevel's defenses are top-notch.
What's the matter, Gramps? You scared? Yuna's there, so we go and get her! And that's all!
You got guts?
And now it's time to fight Evre, the worm.
The guardian worm, Evre. The great sacred beast, protector of Bevel.
The red carpet has teeth.
One last thing though, this is the first playthrough I've ever had where I got the enemies to spawn on the airship. And I've never really tried that before. Thanks to Lulu healing us, this fight is nothing. Even the poison mist attack isn't anything. We also use the salvos because why not? They're super cool. The entire fight is basically one fade in back and forth of attacking, and even though he tried with one last poison attack right before Orin took him down, the fight wasn't anything. The boss's poison mist attack and photon beams can be a problem without Yuna since we don't have a proper healer, but thanks to Lulu and Riku's potions, it really wasn't an issue. And Orin's dealing so much damage easily carried this fight and leads to my favorite scene in the game, the wedding.
was that?
An all-bed flash bomb!
Let me go! I'm gonna kill that Seymour!
Yuna said leave. We leave.
We'll join up with her later.
Break through!
Yuna?
Inside, maybe?
Then what are we standing here for?
Hey!
You can stuff your taboos! What's that?
A faith. They join with the summoner, and together receive the Aeon. They are human souls, imprisoned in stone by ancient Yevon rites. The dead should be allowed to rest.
With us trying to reunite with Yuna, she gets the 5th Aeon, Bahamut.
Grand Maester Micah, please send Seymour now.
Send the unsent to where they belong?
Yes. Maester?
Send the dead, You would have to send me too.
Hey, kid?
And now the party is split up once again
So she can
for
die?
killing Seymour, even though he's still here.
Why is it everything in Spira seems to revolve around people dying?
The spiral of death.
Huh?
Summoners challenge the bringer of death, sin, and die doing so. Guardians give their lives to protect their summoner. The faith are the souls of the dead. Even the maesters of Yevon are unsent. Spira is full of death. Only sin is reborn, and then only to bring more death. It is a cycle of death, spiraling endlessly.
Now the party is now split up again, and Yuna's having to battle Isaru and his Aeons.
You will fight us?
The Temple's orders are law. Even if you are Lord Braska's flesh and blood, you're a traitor.
His guardians, I don't see them.
Maroda and Passe are not here. I will do this unhappy deed myself. Forgive me, Lady Yuna.
The fight was a complete wash. Isaru didn't stand a chance.
Your pilgrimage is over.
And for Tidus, Waka, and Riku, they get sent to an underground section where they fought a zombified Evre. You know, that That worm that we just fought a few seconds ago? Yeah, well now it's undead. And just like that, a phoenix down and an X potion made quick and easy work of him. Now, hear me out. Remember how I said in the rules I can't use items on myself during the run? I still didn't. I used them on the boss. The zombified status makes it so that any healing is reversed and it deals damage instead. And with less than 20,000 health, the fight was over before it even started. The gang finally reunites and they meet on the Bavel High Bridge, and Kamari's just ready to sacrifice himself for Yuna, because Seymour just killed Keenock, absorbed him, and the rest of his guards transformed for him.
I will destroy Spira! I will save it!
You're totally nuts!
Run! Protect Yuna!
Everyone except Kamari get to the end of the bridge before heading back, and this area is one of the most popular ones where a lot of people find out that grinding levels here is so easy, and it's completely due to the high amounts of experience points the mobs here give. Because of the challenge, I only get 3 encounters and I can't stay to farm before the fight.
Well then, let's go!
Hey, Kamari! Leave some for us!
It hurts a lot because I usually stay here for a good bit, and I'm not allowed to. The Seymour and Natus fight, it wasn't anything that I was too worried about. I did have to restart because Seymour used Break and Shatterclaw to end one of my people, and you know, like that one scene from the Percy Jackson movie with Medusa. Yeah, and just think of something like that. But Orin is just a monster, especially in this fight, because he considered Keenock still a friend even though he kind of betrayed him. So by using the talk ability on Seymour with Orin, it gives him plus 10 attack, I believe. And he was already dealing huge amounts of damage before. It's kind of stupid now. And seeing how much health Seymour had at this point, 1 shooting star, and that's all I needed. Let's think this all the way through for a second. Even with Protect, which is supposed to half the amount of damage that you take, it still hit the damage cap. That's how strong Orin is at this point. We reach the Calmlands, and we run into Belgamina again, and she wants a rematch. In this fight, her Shiva has really high defenses, so instead of using Bahamut, I go to choose Ixion. Since she can self-heal with Thundara, it's a big battle of attrition here. Shiva's attacks are super weak, but at the same time, her defenses are super high, but wasn't an issue at all. The Defender X that we battle in the far end of the Comlands is easy if we have Orin built up, and we do. The boss only has 3 moves. Blast Punch, which does 50% damage of whoever's HP of what it currently is, and Haymaker, which deals massive damage and will one-shot anyone that isn't Orin due to his massive HP. Thanks to Guard though, all we needed to do was just redirect him to Orin, and we just need to keep him healthy while we whittle away at him. Also, I can't go down into the Cavern of the Stolen Faith. You know, that's kind of off the beaten path, and it's completely optional, so it's a no-no. Kimahri gets his own 1v2 against Biran and Yenkin. Biran is the man that's responsible for breaking Kimahri's horn 10 years ago, and Yenke is more of just a lackey than a warrior. The fight's dependent on how you built Kimahri and how his stats are spread out. So they both have very high HP, decent attack, decent bulk, all thanks to Kimahri basically. Also another thing, I made sure to pick up use and steal from Riku's tree for Kimahri to steal the level 3 key spheres from them. I really needed them at this point. I bring both of their health down to low, but not done, since Biran goes into a berserk state if Yenke's not in the fight anymore. And if he keeps up that damage, I can't outdamage him. But thanks to their health being low, they use their ultimate overdrives, which are Mighty Guard and White Wind. And once they use them, I can have Kimahri steal them with Lancet. Along Mount Gagazet, we finally meet someone named Wants. He's a merchant with some stuff that we need. And from him, I use the money that I've been saving up for a long time. He's got Zombie Ward, he's got Holy Waters, I need all of that. I've got $200,000 and I need basically everything. Also, I go ahead and buy Alchemy for Riku here. And now, time for the moment that I think everyone here has been waiting for. It's time to fight Seymour Flux. Let me just show you what the first turn was. We lost on the first turn. The only people that we have on our team that have Zombie Ward are Tidus, Yuna, and Orin. So in this fight, I'm basically restricted to the 3 of them, which is perfectly fine. They're probably, if not definitely, the strongest people in my entire team. But that also means that I won't be able to get experience points for the rest of my people, if I even make it through this fight. But why don't I talk a little bit about why this is considered the hardest story fight in the entire game, even without the restrictions. Well, number one, due to the restrictions, Seymour has an attack called Lance of Atrophy, which deals damage and has a 100% chance of causing zombie on somebody. And immediately after that, he uses an ability called Full Life, which revives a person to instantly kill that person. Zombie Ward only negates zombie 50% of the time, so this is already RNG. This is already RNG dependent. Seymour has access to Lance of Atrophy and Full Life immediately after that. He has access to Flare, one of the game's ultimate black magic abilities, the final ability that Lulu learns in her tree. an attack called Cross Cleave, which deals about 1500 damage to everybody, and he can just use that randomly. And he also has the creme de la creme, the ultimate ability that he has in this fight, which is an instantaneous just restart because everyone is dead. Total Annihilation. In Total Annihilation, he starts shooting missiles and starts shooting laser beams, and he's going crazy. This entire attack is an instantaneous team wipe. My saving graces here are Seymour is not immune to poison, and poison deals a beefy 1400 health to him every single tick. And I'm not sure if this fight is scripted correctly, because I swear there's been times where I've played this game, I've poisoned him, and it just skips his attack. Also, let's talk about the fact that he's supposed to have 3 turns in order to use Total Annihilation, and he uses it instantaneously. It just automatically says ready to fire. But I was not. At this point, I was not ready for what happened next. Seymour just stood there and waited. I thought this was it. I thought I was about to lose. He just stood there and waited. He had 17,000 health left. I knew that if I didn't whittle him down before he used Total Annihilation, that I was going to lose this fight. I had 5 turns essentially to beat him, and this is what happened. I have never survived Total Annihilation before, so doing that for the first time with all of these restrictions behind me felt so good. It's a little too bad that I wasn't able to get experience points for everybody in this fight, but in the end, it didn't even matter. Also, one thing to note here, overkilling him gives you 2 level 4 key spheres. Again, the one that I got earlier was really important. These 2, I'm 1 step away from my plan for later. Now it's time for a boss that's usually considered way easier than Seymour Flux immediately after, and it's the Sanctuary Keeper.
It comes!
He's susceptible to poison, and he has way less health than Seymour does, but he can cause a myriad of status effects. Confusion, blind, silence, curse, you name it. And it's all because of his stupid rainbow wings. But he also has one huge Kamehameha mana breath attack that will instantly down anybody. It doesn't matter what they're doing, it doesn't matter how much health they have, it's over if it hits you.
Listen to my story. This may be our last chance. Hey, there was more, right? I mean, like that time. Anyone?
We're finally in Xanarkand, and we're going to be fighting some Defender Zs and a bunch of Machina. They drop a lot of experience points for taking them down. It's usually a great place to train up and gain experience points before the final fight, but these restrictions are killing me, man. After completing the puzzle, it's time that we fight what's generally considered a pretty big hurdle to overcome, and it's the Sanctuary Keeper. Or I'm sorry, not Sanctuary Keeper, the Spectral Keeper. His whole thing is he can counterattack your attacks with a huge widespread attack. You're fighting on a grid of 6 platforms. With your 3 characters, you're able to bounce around to different platforms. If you're sitting on one, he'll attack the person who just attacked him in the middle, and the 2 adjacent spots next to him. He'll also drop mines and put them on 2 of the 6 spots. That will instantly knock out anybody. And any Aeons that he uses, or any Aeons that you use during the fight, he will put a Glymph mine under that and instantly knock it out. So I can't even use Aeons, but I will use one just for the overkill. Oh, I forgot to mention, he has an ability called Berserk Tail, which causes instantaneous berserk to anybody that it hits. So, do you understand what's going on here? He counterattacks whenever you hit him. He uses an ability called Berserk Tail so that the only thing you will do is attack him. And he deals a crap ton of damage. There's one saving grace in this fight. He is susceptible. Provoke makes it so that the enemy only attacks one person specifically, the person who used Provoke. And Tidus also has a weapon right now that causes a counterattack whenever he gets attacked. So on top of being able to make it so that none of your other teammates are getting attacked, you're the only one getting attacked. As long as you're kept up healed and safe, you've got Protect. You can attack him, he'll attack back at you. When he attacks you on a normal turn, you get to hit him back. And Berserk also makes you deal more damage than normal. So all I needed to do was just keep Tidus safe, keep him healthy, and just have him whittle away at the boss until I'm able to summon out Bahamut. And with Spectral Keeper taken out, we get the last 2 level 4 Q spheres that we're going to get throughout the game. It's time for my phase with Lulu to finally come to fruition.
Huh? What do you mean, no final Aeon?
Because of the level 4 Q spheres, I now have access to dual cast. It's too bad that I didn't realize that didn't matter with this next fight.
This isn't a faith. It's just an empty statue.
That statue lost its power as a faith long ago. It is Lord Xeon, the first faith of the final summoning. What you see before you is all that remains of him. Lord Xeon his soul is gone.
Yuna, wait! Auron, you knew this was gonna happen, didn't you?
Yes.
Why didn't you tell us?
If I had told you the truth, would that really have stopped you from coming?
Lady Yunalesca.
Welcome to Xanarkand. I congratulate you, Summoner. You have completed your pilgrimage. I will now bestow you with that which you seek. The final summoning will be yours. Now, choose. You must choose the one whom I will change to become the faith of the final summoning. There must be a bond between Chosen and Summoner, for that is what the final summoning embodies. The bond between husband and wife, mother and child, or between friends. If that bond is strong enough, its light will conquer sin.
Well, let's go. Lord Braska, Jekt. What do you want now? Sin always comes back. It comes back after the calm, every time. The cycle will continue and your deaths will mean nothing.
But there's always a chance it won't come back this time. It's worth trying.
I understand what you're saying, Orin. I'll find a way to break the cycle.
You have a plan?
Jekt? Trust me, I'll think of something.
And the cycle went on.
We'll break it.
But how? What, you got a plan now?
If one of us has to become a faith, I volunteer.
Me too, Yuna.
That still won't change anything, you know? You'd bring the calm, and then what? That won't break the cycle.
Listen, you want to defeat Sin and keep Yuna alive. You don't want Sin to come back, yeah? That is just not gonna happen, brother, you know?
If you want everything, you'll end up with nothing.
But I want everything.
Now you're being childish.
I give up. So what would an adult do then? They know they can just throw away a summoner, then they can do whatever they like. You're right. I might not even have a chance. But no way am I gonna just stand here and let Yuna go. And what Orin said about there being a way, I think it's true.
You'll think of something?
Yes, I'll go ask Yunalesca. She's got to know something.
You really think she'll help you?
I don't know, but I have to try.
Will Sin come back even should I use the final summoning to defeat it?
Sin is eternal. Every Aeon that defeats it becomes Sin in its place. And thus is Sin reborn.
So that's why Jekt became Sin.
Sin is an inevitable part of Spira's destiny. It is never-ending.
Never-ending? But if we atone for our crimes, Sin will stop coming back, yeah? Someday it'll be gone, yeah?
Will humanity ever attain such purity?
This cannot be! The teachings state that we can exercise sin with complete atonement! It's been our only hope all these years!
Hope is comforting. It allows us to accept fate, however tragic it might be.
No! Where is the sense in all this? Braska believed in Yevon's teachings and died for them. Jekt believed in Braska and gave his life for him.
They chose to die because they had hope. Yevon's teachings and the final summoning give the people of Spira hope. Without hope, they would drown in their sorrow. Now choose. Who will be your faith? Who will be the one to renew Spira's hope?
No one. I would have gladly died. I live for the people of Spira, and would have gladly died for them, but no more. The final summoning is a false tradition that should be thrown away.
No, it is our only hope. Your father sacrificed himself to give that hope to the people, so they would forget sorrow.
Wrong. My father wanted to make Spiro's sorrow go away, not just cover it up with lies.
Sorrow cannot be abolished. It is meaningless to try.
My father, I loved him. So I will live with my sorrow. I will live my own life. I will defeat sorrow in his place. I will stand my ground and be strong. I don't know when it will be, but someday I will conquer it. And I will do it without false hope.
Poor creature. You would throw away hope. Well, I will free you before you can drown in your sorrow. It is better for you to die in hope than to live in despair. Let me be your liberator.
Now! This is it! Now is the time to choose. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow. Now is the time to shape your stories. Your fate is in your hands.
Yuna needs Kimahri. Kimahri, protect Yuna.
Well, I'm fighting.
I can't believe we're gonna fight Lady Yunalesca. Give me a break.
You can always run.
I'd never forgive myself. No way. Not if I ran away now. Even in death, yeah?
My thoughts exactly.
Yuna! This is our story. Now let's see this thing through together.
Yunalesca, the first summoner to ever defeat Sin, and we need to beat her. She has stupidly high defenses, and this is a 3-part fight. Every single fight, every single round, it gets way more dangerous than the last. The entire first time that I was trying to beat her, I knew that she had one special thing. She will cause zombie to everybody on the field. Doing so makes it so that healing effects hurt instead of heal. Because of that, once she uses Hellbiter on your team, you're essentially on borrowed time. You can't heal up. You can't use any type of potions to heal off zombie or anything. I couldn't put zombie ward on all my people either. But in this fight, it doesn't even matter. Because if you take it off and the third round comes, she will use Megadeath. Megadeath is a spell that instantaneously wipes your entire team if they are not zombified. With her tremendous defenses and her just whittling away at everybody, when she decided to cast Curaga on Waka during the fight, I knew that it was GG from there, dealing about 4,000 damage. Especially since she's able to cast Darkness and Confusion on everybody because of her Mind Break attack. This was an unfair fight, and I took it upon myself to get a little unfair as well. Do you remember those strength spheres that I got for dodging all those lightning bolts? I decided to cash in the strength spheres at this point in time. I brought Wakka and Orin to the end of Tidus's grid by using a teleport sphere to teleport to where he is. Cashed in all the spheres, and now their damages have just increased way more than I had even bargained for. I mowed down the first 2 stages of the fight, and once I finally get to the third, I knew that she had about 60,000 HP. I whittled it down a bit with Tidus, and then when it came to Wakka, I finally used the attack reels that I got earlier in the game from playing Blitzball. Doing some quick math, I would have been able to take down her 3rd form with just Wakka. Did that seem a little cheap? Maybe, but I'm still in the confines of the rules, so I went with it. Now with her beat, we have the airship again, and this is when the game finally opens up. We're able to go back to previous areas that we've been to, we're able to get anything that we need, look for anything that we need, but just like with the rules, I can't go anywhere that has random encounters. I can't just free roam, I can't get into any type of fight like that. So because of this, I cannot go to Bosch Temple and get Lulu's Onion Knight. Because that monster that almost ate Tidus at the very beginning of the game, Geos Gano, you have to fight him before you're able to get the Onion Knight. This really irked me. Now with the airship in hand, we need to do some preparations. We're finally at the end point of the game, and we're about to start fighting Sin. I need every single advantage that I can get. Any place that we go to that doesn't have any type of random encounters, I'm able to get the items there. So, the very first thing I do, I go and train a Chocobo. I go back to the Comlands. Immediately after leaving the Vryn Travel Agency in the middle of the Comlands, right south of it is a Chocobo trainer. We speak to her, we train our little furry friend all the way up, and then we beat her in a race. This is considered one of the hardest challenges in the game. I didn't think so. It only took me about 7 tries to finally beat her time all the way down to a 0-0, or I'm sorry, a negative. So with that finally done, I make my way to Ramium Temple, where you race against a master level Chocobo. Beating him will get you the Cloudy Mirror. I'll explain why that's so important here in a second, but I also make sure to beat him another time where I complete the full challenge of the run right here. There are treasure chests laden throughout the entire arena. If you collect all 5 and then get to the end point, you'll be awarded with the 3 stars, 60 of them. Because of this, I was able to upgrade Lulu's medical mog with 1 MP cost. I'll explain more in a little bit. With the Cloudy Mirror in hand, I go back to Macalania Woods, and in the first starting areas, there is no random encounters, so I'm perfectly free to roam. A woman and her child, they lose their father. I go find him, I come back, and then they lose their child. I go and find them, I go and find the kid, and he's on this really pretty road leading up throughout the entire woods, and I was able to upgrade the Cloudy Mirror into the Celestial Mirror. Using this, I'm able to acquire the ultimate weapons. I get the Calicbalg, which is Tidus's ultimate weapon, and since I beat the Chocobo trainer and beat their time, and not only beat it but got a negative score on it, beating the Chocobo master's time and getting a negative score gives you the Sun Sigil. I also made sure to pick up the Sun Crest after you beat Unalesca, because if you don't get it there right then you have to fight Dark Bahamut, and there's no way there's no way that you can beat him without somebody dying. At least with these restrictions, you can't. With this level, it's impossible. I pick up the Calicbalg, I make my way back to Macalania Woods, I upgrade the weapon. Now it is one of the strongest weapons that I have, if not the absolute strongest. I decided to play some Blitzball and realized just how dumb that was. I realized just how dumb that was because I can get the world champion for Wakka, but I can't get the Jupiter Sigil for him. Reason being, we haven't been in enough fights. We have not been in enough fights through this game with Wakka for us to be able to unlock the final weapon, or his final. Due to not being in enough random encounters throughout the game with Wakka, we can't power up the world champion that we got for him. Because of that, we can't get the Jupiter sigil. So playing Blitzball was, again, a big waste of time. But now it's time to explain why getting those 3 stars was so important, why getting those level 4 Q spheres was so important. Now, Lulu has access to dual cast and the ultimate spell in the game, Ultima. Ultima has a magic requirement of 90 MP. With that, Lulu can only really use Ultima about 3-4 times, but thanks to the 3 stars that we got earlier, we upgraded her weapon, and now it only costs 1 MP. With dual cast and Ultima as the ultimate attack, we start spamming it, and we're able to just get away.
The final showdown with Sheen. Yeehaw! Here we go! Well, this is it, huh?
Yu Yevon's hiding somewhere inside Sin, and we're gonna find him.
Well, that sounds pretty simple.
Hey, simple is the way you like it, right?
You got that right.
Pops, I'm counting on ya.
Right. Got you covered. Yeah. How's that?
Right on.
A singing ship in the sky.
I hope everyone got the message. Sheen!
All right, we're going in.
How we gonna get inside?
The easy way, how else?
Figures.
Well, let's go.
Hey, how you plan on getting inside?
If we can't get through the mouth, we'll rip open a new one. You with me?
Now that's what I call a plan.
Huh? Hmm? Oh. Oh.
Damn you, old man.
Hey, I saw something shine at the base of Shin's arm. I reckon it's a weak spot. Good! Red!
Feina bimat poshi!
Sin's pulling us in!
Everyone, back inside!
It's loose!
Here goes! Everyone, hold on to something! Here we go!
Got it!
Couldn't have done it without you! Alright! Everyone look sharp! Time to hit the other side!
Easy for you to say!
There you go! Mira! Where next?
Edeko-chan.
Fred? Farija Umo Pakia!
Pidra Shike. Edek Nuga.
Tidrid Litpa!
The main gun's busted!
Dang it! Alright, back inside! Time for another plan!
No. We're going in. Every blitzer knows. When you got the ball, you gotta score!
A day with you is never dull.
Hey! Star players first!
Because of what I was able to get at this point, Lulu just started tearing through Sin. And it's usually at this point, through a normal playthrough, Lulu kind of gets thrown into the wayside, just because, yeah, her attacks are strong, but they're not as strong as normal attacks. But thanks to Focus, Dual Casting, and Ultima, and being able to spam it, Lulu becomes an indomitable force at this point. It's pretty crazy. I wholeheartedly believe that's because of this I was able to get through this. this final part against Sin, he has 140,000 HP. He can deal attacks, but for the most part he's trying to fill up his overdrive gauge. His overdrive is called Giga Graviton, and it causes an instant game over. It destroys the entire planet. But did I mention that Lulu is just her? And Auron is just dealing so much damage with every single hit that it did not matter how much health he had. Also, one little tidbit. When we do finally beat Sin, now we have to go inside of it in order to take out the person who's controlling Sin from the inside. One of the mobs, one of the little sprouts that you fight along the way, if you bribe them, then they'll give you an item called Turbo Ether. Turbo Ether gives Lulu's weapon Magic Booster. It increases the amount of damage that her magic attacks do, at the cost of doubling the amount of MP that it costs. And with 1 MP cost, that's 2. We're dealing way more damage for 2 MP per attack. That would have sucked so hard if it failed. I had to throw $150,000 at it. Oh yeah, fuck the Behemoth King. Also, inside of Sin, Seymour's there. He got absorbed by Sin, and he's going to try to find a way in order to absorb him and control him from the inside.
Don't you ever give up?
Sin has chosen me. I am part of Sin. I am one with Sin forever. Immortal.
Sin just absorbed you.
I will learn to control it from within. I have all the time in the world.
Since you were gracious enough to dispose of Yunalesca, the only means of destroying Sin is forever gone. Now nothing can stop us.
Well, we can.
By all means, try! You should thank me. Your death means your father's life.
Because of everything that I did in order to prepare for these moments, Seymour got lucky. He got lucky one time and was able to knock out Waka. Because I had an oopsie, I went dumb, and he used Ultima on me. But next time around, he used Ultima a couple different times, and it still didn't do anything. Seymour's finally taken out of the picture, and we're able to go through the last little bits of Inside of Sin to finally go to the final battle of the game. Also, one last thing, for the challenge, I decided since all of these spears right here that pop up out of the ground as you're collecting all these orbs, they're all random encounters. If you accidentally get hit by one, then you have to fight a random mob. Since they are technically optional fights, I told myself that I'm not allowed to touch any of them. I could not get any more levels after this point. No more fights. From now on, it's just me and the final boss.
You're late, Auron.
I know.
Hey.
Huh?
You got tall, but you're all bones. You eating right, boy? You've really grown.
Yeah, but you're still bigger.
Well, I am Sin, you know.
That's not funny.
Well, then, I mean, you know. Let's end this.
Dad?
Yeah.
I hate you.
I know. You know what you have to do.
Yeah.
I can't hear the hymn so well anymore. Pretty soon I'm gonna be Sin, completely. I'm glad you're here now. One thing though, when it starts, I won't be myself anymore. I won't be able to hold myself back. I'm sorry.
That's enough! Let's finish this, okay?
You're right. Well then, let's go.
Promise this will be quick! Hit me with all you got, Dad!
Vraska's final Aeon, I got one lucky knockout on Yuna just because her defenses are pretty low, but I finally remembered how to take them out, and when I did, it came to the real final challenge of the game.
Yuna!
Inside of the core of Sin, in a different domain, we're gonna fight against Yu Yevon. This is the point where I didn't realize that this entire challenge might be impossible. I thought with everything that I had up to this point, that was it. I had a free ride until the very end. I couldn't have been more wrong. You see, the way that it goes, every single Aeon that Yuna has, she's supposed to summon them out. Then Yu Yevon absorbs that Aeon and starts controlling them. You have to take out that Aeon, then you have to take out the next one and the next one. With us having 5, that means we have to fight essentially 5 beefy bosses back to back without being able to heal up in between fights. Also, I know that it's a whole thing of, oh, this fight is super easy, or this entire sequence is just free because you technically can't die. No, y'all technically can't die because auto life revives you. I'm not allowed to die, and all the Aeons up to this point, they're all measured. Their strength is measured by how strong Yuna is. I was able to get through Valefor, Ifrit, Ixion, and sometimes Bahamut. With some understanding, Bahamut would use Impulse to kill everybody. One of the Aeons would just get a huge speed boost and breeze through and get the first attack and take out somebody. None of my buffs carry over from the very start, and Shiva, being just innately one of the fastest Aeons in the entire game, and way faster than everybody on your team, I tried for 6 hours straight trying to get through this. I tried for 6 hours of continuous failing, restarting, and when I sat back and realized it, I kind of just figured out, no, you cannot beat Final Fantasy X without anyone dying ever. So I decided to go back. I decided to go to the save sphere before the Ject fight, and from there I did some slight tweaking to my abilities. I gave Yuna a different rod. She's had the Rod of Wisdom, the one that you get for opening the Destruction Sphere in the Besaid Cloister of Trials. She's had it this entire time, and I switched it out. I decided to switch it out, and I gave Yuna 1 MP cost so that she's able to heal more. I started noticing on the 6-7 hours that I kept on failing that her MP got so low that she wasn't able to cast Curaga on people anymore. With that, and restarting the Ject fight again, I was able to get into a better starting point once I got back into the fights against the Aeons.
Yuna! Everyone? This is the last time we fight together. Okay?
Huh?
What I'm trying to say is, after we beat you, Yevon, I'll disappear.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying goodbye.
Not now.
I know it's selfish, but this is my story.
had the biggest sigh of relief and a little bit of self-gratification. Victory was right there. It was one attack away, and the person delivering it was Titus. Everything just lined up so perfectly. I was so happy that I was able to complete this challenge with this one final attack.
Don't stop.
But
It's all right. It's been long enough. This is your world now.
Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate all of you. And it wasn't until I completed the challenge that I always thought people that did these challenge runs, they did it, just to put out content. For me, for this specific challenge, I felt so much just relief and just so much completion out of it. I felt so good afterwards. And I can't wait to do another challenge run. I don't know what game I would do, but I'm really excited for the next one. And thank you all so much again. And if y'all don't mind, I decided to just compile a whole bunch of stuff that I thought would be funny at the end. So if you want to, watch that. If you don't, I understand. But again, thank you. Bye, guys.
I have to go. I'm sorry I couldn't show you Xanarkand. Goodbye.
Hey!
One more thing. The people and the friends that we have lost. No dreams that fade. Never forget them.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
Kuno.
Look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
Here's the cover.
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
Our precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care.
You need to leave!
And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy? Sorry. Mommy?
They're a living, breathing, statistical impossibility. I've never seen a team this bad.
Bro, I'm really about to get your pickle chin that boy. Hey, go ahead, concrete head that boy. Oh, head that boy, your dirt that boy stink.
I'm not tired one bit.
Well, I am.
She belongs to the streets.
He asked me to marry him.
You serious? Hey!
That little girl is a child. I don't want to see you sniffing around her anymore this afternoon. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it. What you're looking for, ain't nobody going to help you out there. Jesus can come through that door and he's not going to help you if you don't stop sniffing after my child.
There's something I want to tell you, but promise not to say anything.
Fuck no, baby.
Ejectocito, cuz!
Cover your eyes!
What does it matter? No one truly believes that I, a fallen summoner wed to an Al-Bhed, could possibly defeat sin. This is what they say. No one expects us to succeed.
Braska, sir.
Let's show them they're wrong.
Why fight a hopeless battle trying to defy your destiny?
'Cause people called me a failure.
I'll prove 'em wrong!